Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Firstly, my name is Sümeysa. I'm studying civil engineer at Bülent Ecevit University. This is my homework. Today, we will learn the biggest work accident in the world about aircraft. It is Tenerife Disaster. It's happened in Spain. Tenerife Disaster occurred at March 27, 1997. 583 people died. The accident in Tenerife left behind hundreds of dead bodies, thousands of old eyes, two giant wrecks, and a great lesson to whole world. First of all, the question is, of course, how was it started? It all started with the explosion of a bomb at the Canary airport. A bomb exploded at the International Canary Airport. In case of a second bomb, planes were diverted to Tenerife Airport, but they didn't think about one thing. Tenerife Airport is very small one. There was Sunday in Tenerife Airport. It means very busy day, and then it has become more and more busy with the planes being directed. On the other hand, fog clouds started to surround the city. It was really bad news. Visibility dropped to 300 meters, but rules said it must be 700. It is the first fail. Now you can see the main characters in the event: KLM aircraft and Pan Am aircraft. The first aircraft is KLM. The KLM passengers plane belonged to Netherlands, took off from Amsterdam. They were 248 people. KLM's captain pilot Van Zanten. Actually, he was very successful pilot. Even he was the face of the mark KLM, but he was very ambitious, very impatient. That's why he paid the price with his life. On the other side, Pan Am aircraft. Pan Am, one of the biggest airline companies in the USA at that time. They took off from New York in 396 people. Now everyone, we came to the part just before accident. You see the plane was waiting in the runway. The planes following the road in the figure came to the noise, but they couldn't see the other one because of the fog. Both captains could not communication well with the air traffic controller. The buzzing sound was coming from the radio, but I said Van Zanten was very ambitious and impatient, and he wanted to take off early. That's why he asked to air traffic controller for takeoff. Uh, but air traffic controller said, "Okay, wait, wait, we will call you." But Van Zanten just hear, "Okay." Then he decided to take off. Um, then the disaster is come. Moment of accident. Pan Am's captain pilot saw the lights of the plane coming fast and start coming fast, and he started the motors and tried to escape left. Meanwhile, trying to rise past Van Zanten realized that He had made the biggest mistake of his life. That is, it was refueled just before the takeoff because the plane was too heavy to take off, and these mistakes birthed the crash. The KLM plane crashed into the Pan Am plane at speed of about 216 km per hour. As you see, it was like a doomsday. Um, Even uh, um, air traffic controller couldn't see Pan Am plane passengers. They couldn't help them because the fog. They couldn't see anything. No one survived the Deutsche KLM plane in this biggest plane crash in the world history. The giant plane was a grave for 248 people. No one can survive. On the Pan Am plane, the loss was greater. 335 people died on the plane. Pilots and light engineers were among the survivors of the Pan Am plane, which survived 61 people. After the giant accident, about 70 people were assigned to investigate the cause of the accident. Black box records proved that Van Zanten made the fatal mistake of standing on the runway without being sure he was getting takeoff clearance. KLM had to pay a record amount of compensation. The company, which made payments ranging from 58,000 to $600,000 to families of those who lost their lives in the accident and to the survivors, made a total of $110 million. After the giant accident, about 70 people were assigned to investigate the cause of the accident. Black box records prove that Van Zanten made a fatal mistake of standing on the runway without being sure he was getting takeoff clearance. KLM had to pay a record amount of the compensation, um, total of $110 million. 583 people died in the bloodiest, exemplary, greatest aviation disaster in the history of the world. What happened in the Santa Cruz de Tenerife on March 28, 1977 left behind a great lesson and unforgettable irony for the whole world. The biggest aviation accident in the world took place on the ground by the human mistakes. Thank you for your listening. I hope um, you gonna like them. 583 people died in the bloodiest, exemplary, greatest aviation disaster in the history of the world. What happened in the Tenerife on March 27, 1977 left behind a great lesson and unforgettable irony for the whole world. The biggest aviation accident in the world took place on the ground by human mistake. Thank you for your listening, guys and girls. I hope you will like it.